What's up, everybody? It's Pack Day. It's Hot Pack Day, and we have a show today, and we're gonna have Jay, and we're gonna have PackDrip, and we're gonna have Mikey Zakarian, who's just hasn't been on a stream in so long. Can't even imagine how long it's been since that kid's been on a stream. Got to be at least 45 minutes, the very least. So we'll bring them all in. I don't have my videos, but we'll play some kind of a video anyway, and we'll bring them in. So let's see, what are we gonna play for them? We'll just give them a little. All right, I know what we'll do. A little. Where's my community? Where is it? Here it is.
We love the community.
All right, so let's get Jay in there. Hello, Jay. How are you?
What's going on, buddy?
Doing good. Let's get a little Pack Drippy in there. Pack Drippy. We got a new little background in there, looking all different over there, kid.
Yeah, just moved to Boston. A little different room, different setup.
All right, I like it. And finally, we got Mikey, aka Michael.
No
Zakarian.
No Ben today, so someone has to step up to try to cancel this thing, right?
That's
It's
right.
up to you, buddy.
We gotta irritate and upset as many people as possible. So
Deal.
I think the story of the day, of course, is the hot packs, but there's actually quite a few stories of the day, and we'll try to cover each one of those. I thought we were going to be talking about VIP Roham chat, and I thought that was going to be like the big scandalous story of the day. But we have actually a few things to talk about. So, well, there goes PackDrip. He's gone.
He's done.
But first of all, does anyone have packs?
No, I didn't get any.
PackDrip, did you? Jay?
No packs for the drip.
You know what? I decided at the last minute. I got a couple packs.
How many did you get, you dirty bastard?
Well, I mean, we don't know how many we got. Let's see, but
How much did you reserve for? How
I
many did you
ordered
reserve?
two. I ordered
Two. All right, that's
Yeah.
fair. I also did not reserve any. I see in the chat some people also did not. I know. Actually,
I did it to
Jeb's in
support the
there saying-
product. That's what I'm all about.
That was my
Really?
original theory. Was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it blind faith, and then I said either way. I put the 150. I put the 15 reserve packs. I'm not gonna say who talked me out of it.
Trip, what's your cat doing behind you?
My cat? Where? He's right here.
Is he like all licking himself and stuff? He's like jerking up and down.
Oh yeah,
Easy,
he's licking
easy. It's a little
himself.
early for that kind of language. So actually, Jeb, he has liked the stream. Be like actually, Jeb. Go ahead and like that stream. And Rowdy Rod is saying Dapper is broken, Twitter is broken, everything's broken. Budavane is here. Hello, Budavane. Thank you for joining us. What are you eating today in that Eastern? No, you're not in Eastern Europe. You're in like the Netherlands, I think. Cody is here. Hello, we the people. Hello. Jeb's calling you a hypocrite.
I am a hypocrite. I confuse the hell out of myself. I don't know what I believe half the time, to be totally honest with you.
I also don't think it's bad that people are getting packs. I would myself was surprised at what the market was for someone that does a daily show. I hadn't looked at it in a while because it was too sad. And then when I
Don't
was
look.
like, oh yeah, what could I do with $20? And then I was thinking like, well, there's only one really rookie in there. And then you look at the other 4 badges that are what like for the price point. I'm like, man, I don't like what am I doing here? So that it was more of a just a come to Jesus moment for me where I was like, I think I need to.
It's
sit this
gambling.
one out.
I mean, all
Yeah.
these packs, they've always been about gambling. We're degenerate gamblers. That's why people join this platform in the first place. We're
Yeah.
just
But the
always
thing is,
looking for that next hit.
what is the median outcome, or what
Who
is
cares?
like the upside?
Like even if there's like a 0.0001 chance, we all think we're the center of the universe and we're gonna be that guy. You know,
Yeah.
Speak for yourself.
I do. I do.
I think it's a little bit of insanity.
Pure insanity.
And so they're telling us to basically spend $150 to collect what you love, and that's what I'm gonna do. I return the packs, and then I'm gonna spend the 150 in the marketplace buying and collecting what I love. So I'm there's not a knock on them. I just don't want these packs. My
Yeah.
guys aren't in there. You know, I'm not looking for a Malcolm Brogdon fresh threads. It's just not it. If Malcolm Brogdon was still on the Bucks, different story. It's just my guys aren't in here, and it's only Benedict Mathurin. So
Yeah, I mean, it was cool to see Benedict Cumberbatch in there, and it's cool to see that new artwork too. It's nice.
Yeah.
But here's something that's a little confusing to me, and I don't know if you guys got to the bottom of this or not. Is there going to be just these rookie moments, or are we also going to get the base and parallel rookies as well, and also possibly fandoms? Because if you go back and you listen to the podcast, the NBA Top Shot podcast, Jacob talked about this a while back, I think with Steve, when they were talking about the roadmap.
Yeah.
And he mentioned that. He's like, yeah, there's also going to be the base, the parallel, and potentially fandom moments. Do you guys know anything about that, Mikey Z?
No, I don't know. I know that they've kept it vague on purpose. So I think like we could get it like because again, then we saw like the Spotlight series, right? And then all of a sudden there was some more comments that come in. So who knows, man? Hopefully it's only one rookie, but like one per rookie. But I don't know. I have no idea. So I don't think that. Well, I shouldn't say that. I think they do know, and then I think they'll adjust accordingly depending on how things go. But
It feels a lot like net neutral, how it didn't include locking moments at first, and then boop, voila, it did. It's like these packs. They just threw an extra common set in there that we didn't know, and now people are asking about like how many players. Not people. I seen a tweet from TST Top Shot Talk, and he said it like how many common moments are per player now, because that was clearly mapped out prior, and now it wasn't, with the guise of less cards or less moments, less supply, less everything. So we're figuring it's on those numbers or less. But on the current strategy, first pack drop of the year, it's already exceeding what they promised in the past one that we weren't happy with. So what are we going to do now?
So
I got a
that wasn't
question.
100%
Let
clear
me
to me,
ask a
though.
question,
Go
Tandy.
ahead, Jay. Yeah,
Sorry for cutting you off, but
it's all right.
I
Go
haven't
ahead,
cut
Jay.
you off yet. And
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It was time. So here's my question. Does it really matter? I think the only reason that the community even cares about these base set commons is that they've become a much larger piece of the flash challenges, which is like the Top Shot game, right? Like that's the thing that people lean into day in and day out. Last year, they weren't such a factor. So far this year, they've been a huge factor. I think if you couldn't use those base set commons in the game, nobody would care. They would kind of find their rightful place at the bottom of the barrel. They'd be worth next to nothing. Maybe they'd all be trade tickets. But that's kind of what Top Shot has said for a long time. They don't want people to collect the kind of bottom of the barrel stuff. And then they go against that by saying, but you can use it in the most important feature of the game. So if somehow they were able to turn it off and say, no, you can't actually play the game with that, or if they created just a different game for kind of collectors who would prefer to have the cheap stuff, I don't think anybody would care. I think all this commotion about burning 2 million or 20 million or fucking 100 million of these nobody, like, if it wasn't a key piece in the game, I don't think it would matter. That's my honest opinion on it.
I mean, I think they can take a sorry, Mike, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just filling the space. Go ahead.
No. Anyway, I think they can actually take a page from SoRare in a way, actually, because what you're talking about, Jay, is
Did you
like
see what happened to
having
Mike?
different.
I was getting ready to drop a link into the chat, and then I fought against it.
Because you have these different tiers of engagement. You got the free tier of engagement. You got the low cost tier of engagement. You got the very high cost tier of engagement. I think that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. And I think that's what exists on Top Shot too.
I think it cures a lot of problems, to be honest with you.
But if it's not clear enough, and it's like, oh, there's this one game, and right now the way to optimize that one game is playing with the floor moments, then the people who want to go collect that $60,000 Kevin Durant 1 of 1 or whatever, like they just said on SoRare, then it doesn't make sense anymore.
I don't know if it's super fair to compare it, but I think like one of the differences, right, is you in SoRare, maybe you've collected a bunch of limited, maybe you collected a bunch of rare and whatever. And you're like, I know each week that I can do both of these. I know each week there's going to be a limited contest, or I know each week there's going to be a rare contest. I think with the challenges, which are the games, we don't know that. Like, so then there are weeks where people who maybe have only collected commons, but still think they're going to be able to participate in these challenges. You find a challenge. It's like, oh, actually you need a lot of rares for this one. And then you're like, wait, hold on, I can't participate. And then, which I'm fine with that. I think we shouldn't be able to do everything anyways. I think that's what kind of makes it fun, but clearly Twitter disagrees with that. But I think that's the key difference, right? Like with the stuff that you have in SoRare, each week you can participate in this thing. And then that hasn't always been the case with the Top Shot challenges. And that's where I think some of the frustration comes
Consistency, knowing the rules of the game before you start playing it.
Yeah. Which I don't think that's a crazy expectation.
Yeah, 100%. All right. So then in summary, 4 guys on this stream, 2 packs total. What was your initial reaction when you saw how many packs people could purchase, and how did that reflect some of that VIP chat? I mean, Jay, you're a VIP. So when you were in that VIP,
they don't embrace me.
You're the Woj of the VIP though, right? You're a lot of the tweets.
True. Oh yeah, that one time. That was not intentional. I didn't know I was live tweeting until halfway through my live tweet.
He caught the DMs like Mike and so many others do.
Oh yeah, no,
you gotta get rid of the evidence.
DMs. I mean, depending upon the day, it's either VIP is in my DMs or Roham's in my DMs, or Luke is in my DMs telling me I did bad, or Sean is in my DMs asking me to stop doing bad. I love Sean. Yeah, you gotta love Sean.
Yeah. Do you work for Top Shot?
Do I?
Yeah.
No.
So it's kind of wild that they would like get into your DMs about it, because it's not.
Well, like what it is. They respect me so much, and they just want to know that.
Yeah, you think so?
I'm Team Top Shot. No, I don't. I think they fucking hate my guts. I don't know. I don't know anymore. But no, regarding your question, Tandy. Wait, what the fuck was your question about VIP?
I don't know. It was what's your favorite color or something like that. But anyway, 11. when you look at this little clip here from the VIP chat that Roham had with Jay and his friends, his elite friends. I was just searching for the word scarcity because I know that was supposed to be kind of the focus, right? So I thought also this was kind of an interesting question of itself, which was, it's been a rough week, alluding to the 22% of the staff that was laid off. Will this financial restructure pivot or change announced plans of investing 35 to 60 million US dollars into the customer acquisition of S4? And Roham says, well, first of all, let's give him a little intro. Roham. All right. So Roham says S4 right now in the current economic environment and product readiness will start with scarcity as the focus. So product readiness, aka we ain't got no app, but start with scarcity as the focus. We will be testing really important features for growth like hot packs, but not in a way that is aggressive relative to the economy balance. Until we have mobile in place and burning at full pace, marketing will be ramped up, but through community, social, league, players, etc. So that's the part that felt a little bit incongruent to me, is that scarcity is the focus. And we are going to be using hot packs, but not in a way that is aggressive relative to the economy balance. So on the one hand, if you break down the numbers, I think there was 55,000 packs. That was the number that I saw floating around. So if you compare that to the kind of the liquidity suck of previous pack drops, it's not quite as bad, right? Like a month ago, it was what, 2 million? I think that's kind of what we usually see. I don't know. I haven't done all the math, but
sounds about right.
On the other hand, 15 packs per 100K user, that doesn't feel very scarce. Comments?
It's a lot of packs. Bottom line is there's about 5,000-ish users, right? Like people who are leaning into the platform kind of regularly, and if these were the numbers that they had to hit, they needed 55,000 packs to go out. They had no choice but to offer people 15 packs apiece.
What do you think because I don't know when we'll get the numbers. I thought I saw somebody in the chat saying that packs were starting to go out. I don't know if that's true, but how many do you think? Like, do you think it sells out? It's like right away?
Yeah, I definitely think it sells out.
Doesn't that mean it would have already sold out if it's doing in this reservation style? Like it had to have sold out, right? It said expired.
I think they already said it sold out. already
said?
they sent out messages earlier today. I saw basically, or maybe it was on Twitter, something to the effect of we have fewer packs than the number of reservations we
Oh,
have.
really?
So however many people times 10 or 15 or 12 or 4, however many people reserved. Yeah. No, dude, they're always going to sell out. They have enough data to know what they have to do to sell these things out. They know how many power users they have. They know how many people will buy 10, 20, 100 packs at a time if that's what they sell. And they're always going to sell these packs out. It's just that simple. Because we all love to play the lottery. It's a gamble. Some of us can't go to the casino every week. This is our casino. Like it's just that simple.
Yeah, so here it is. You're right. I can't believe I missed this. It was like 20 minutes ago. Yeah, he said because more packs are requested than available, many collectors today will either not get any packs or not get the max packs that they ordered, and then you'll be refunded. Wow.
Yeah, I don't believe that necessarily. I think if
don't
you
believe
reserve
that people
15, maybe you'll get 12. There's no way in hell people who reserve packs aren't getting packs. Like that's impossible. There's 55,000 packs. There's 5-ish thousand users. It's not possible.
So
There's
Jay, you're putting on your conspiracy theory hat here, and you're saying that everyone's going to get packs.
Yes. I will. Well, what else does that mean? It means that somebody who put in an offer for 15 packs, they're going to fill all 15 packs before they fill the next guy's order for 2 packs. That doesn't make any sense.
Yes, I think that's what it means.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't.
That doesn't make any sense.
So it's going to go like 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and then 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, like hit everyone that way.
All the way up to 13, 13, 13, 13, 13. Yeah.
Interesting.
Why? Yeah, no. Why would you hurt some of your collectors intentionally who genuinely want to buy the product just so somebody else can buy 10? That just doesn't make any
that makes sense.
sense.
That makes sense. I guess I don't know how that back end works, but
it also doesn't matter. Like going back to my earlier point, none of this matters. These are common packs for the most part with some little perks in them. It's the first pack of the season. People want to, scratch the itch. They want to gamble. They want to, try to win the lottery. But this isn't the core Top Shot experience, right? Like this isn't really part and parcel of the game. This is kind of a side thing that happens to appease people when they don't feel like they have anything else going on. I don't think it really matters in the scheme of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just wish, and maybe this is more of a me thing than a product thing. I don't know. There doesn't feel the same level of hype around it and excitement. Like even the way the thing was announced, or it was announced kind of just like another challenge went live, right? It's just like a ping went out and they were like, listen to this podcast about video clips. And then although I will say Austin's thread was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, to be fair, I think the people who used to hype things up were fired.
Yeah.
Well, nobody left.
There's that too.
They got rid of most of their social team. I think a lot of their content people. I think Sean has taken over the Top Shot handle on Twitter. He's followed everybody but me, which is dope.
I checked too. I do not have a follow. It's pretty.
You don't have a follow? That makes no sense.
It's become
it's guilt by association. Obviously, you put me and Ben on your show, you're not going to get a follow.
You get it. Maybe they unfollowed me. That would be kind of funny.
That would be funny.
That'd be appropriate.
No, not yet. I think you got to be more positive. I think that's the way to get the follow right now. You gotta say. Although I don't know.
Is that how you got it?
A while ago, yeah. It's when I think I got it when all the other content creators were like, it'd be sick. Like, let's get some like catnip NFTs out here and talk about that. When all the content creators left, and they were like, all right, I guess we'll stay with Zakarian.
Hold on. If we need to get more positive, hold on. Let me try something out here.
All right, here we go.
We need to get
There you go.
What impression is this? What are we working on here?
Connected and collecting, baby.
The beard
and collected.
Free to kiss.
There you go.
That's pretty good.
If I do that, I'll get the follow. But anyway, it's okay. We're not too worried about the follow. We're just worried. We just want things to be running smooth, running nice. Yeah. I know. The launch of that pack could have been better, but in the grand scheme of things, it's sort of the issue that I've seen for forever as someone who's been here from the beginning ish, which is just like this challenge of appreciating moments, appreciating the beautiful artwork, appreciating like being able to tell the story of what's happened over the course of a season, But then the other flip side of that, which is like, shit, I was here when prices were higher and now they're lower and there's too much floor $2 crap. And it's like, how do you satisfy people who have both of those feelings? And I think obviously the people at Top Shot would prefer that you just fell in that camp and not at all in this camp. And I think that a lot of the people who spend time thinking about this stuff and critiquing this stuff and watching streams like this are probably a little bit in both buckets.
I think that's fair.
And I think that's what's so challenging. So I definitely,
balance.
It's a balance, but like when you were here in the beginning, it's incredibly difficult. Or not the
Bro,
beginning.
we were not here in the beginning. We were here
I
after
wish
the
I was
beginning.
here in the beginning. When you
we
were
here
here
at the beginning of the end.
When you're here in the beginning of the end.
That's when we were here.
And then you see how things were, and then you compare the two. It becomes very difficult because if you think about it, what they want this platform to be, and actually that's what I like. If you disregard price completely, then these new sets and things are actually really clever. Like the spotlight set, it's like it's trying to tell a story of the season.
Sure.
And this rookie set, it's like, oh, these are the rookies of the season, and it's like nicely dividing it and making it more collectible as well. That's all really nice. And from like a design and organization standpoint and understanding standpoint, it's awesome. But then
the problem is the product doesn't really lend itself to telling the story. The way that they're activating the product and the experiences they're giving people, it's not a storytelling platform. Like there's really nothing to do with these narratives. If they were really about storytelling and narratives, they'd lean more into rivalries, right? They lean into, if you're on a team leaderboard for the Nets and you know that they hate the Knicks, they would hype that up and make that a core part of the collecting experience. They'd pit, team communities against team. Like they're not a narrative-based product. So you've got Austin and Brandon out there, who are, hardcore hoop heads like us. Like they love the game. They love the history of the game. They love telling stories. They love diving into the nuances of the plays and why plays matter. But on a product level, they're not actually bringing any of that to life. So there's just a massive disconnect. So if you're a new user or a potential user coming out there and you somehow, some way come into contact with one of Austin's awesome threads and you come onto the platform within a week, you'll be like, where's that narrative storytelling within the product itself? There's a flash challenge and this guy's spinning a wheel and that determines what I need. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just a super disconnect.
But I think those are two different things, Jay. And
but
I hear what you're saying.
It's the core product experience.
But we need to talk about how we get that new user. And according to the VIP chat, the $60 million marketing spend is actually just going to be them selling packs to get new users.
Well, they've alluded to that before as well.
I said, how are you going to market this product? We're going to sell it. What do you mean? That's what they said. But
they've alluded to that in the past, and that's another reason why there was only 55,000 packs this time, was because when Janie was telling us about like their plans, she said something around the lines of, whenever we have these pack drops, those are like experiences that attract more and more people and more new people and etc. So that's how I would answer that. They think the pack drop is
where
like
have they announced they're selling this pack other than Twitter?
Right, exactly. They're not using it to onboard new users.
We're
all in culture. We're all watching basketball. We're super connected to the sport. We're connected to all the content out there. I haven't promote this.
Benedict Mathurin didn't tweet it out.
No,
the NBA didn't tweet it out.
That's a big old sticky issue.
Malcolm
but go ahead.
Brogdon didn't tweet it out.
No, but Cam is saying that it's not intended to drive new user acquisition because they're not promoting this pack drop.
They're not getting Benedict Mathurin fans. They're selling us Benedict Mathurin.
No, I know. You're absolutely right. But obviously their data shows that, a bunch of new people open packs. But Mike, you're about to make a point. Go ahead.
Mets, I think you've said this before. I just don't know if they want to market it right now. Right. Like, right. I think that's really what it is. And I think they're probably slowly walking back the $35 to $100 million they were going to put into marketing. That I think, like, when we heard it too, we're like, okay, yeah, we'll see it when we see it, and like, of course, that's where we've landed. To me, I think that's like the bigger overall issue when I think about a lot of this stuff. I think they have created this environment where, and it's that people aren't always super fair too. Like, I think we suck as a group of people, but I think that they have consistently, through whether their fault or extenuating circumstances, have put out expectations out there and then have consistently fallen short of those expectations. Again, not all of that their responsibility. I think some other stuff, some other stuff has forced that to happen that way. But I think time and time again, whether it was directly from Top Shot, I know for some reason Roham never receives any sort of flack or criticism, but I think how many times does he come on to his spaces or a thing and has been like, hey, you know what? Actually, you guys are going to get a fuck ton of flow in a couple of weeks. So no big deal. And then instead we all blame Top Shot for that. And I'm like, nah, that's coming from the top. And this is the thing that I've been hammering forever now, that it's like an infrastructure leadership there's definitely disconnect from the top all the way down. And people will misconstrue that as me attacking an individual or something like that. No, it's an organizational leadership thing that needs to be addressed in order for stuff to improve, in my opinion anyways. And I'm not whatever, dude, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but that is what I'm seeing. And then I feel bad for the people in those positions, whether it's Top Shot, Strike, Testy Nuts, whatever else is on Flow. When something like that is said, then they all have to scramble in order to try to meet these expectations that really weren't identified or achievable to begin with. Anyway,
Mike, it sounds like you need an angst pillow. I'm just gonna put it out there right now.
I know.
And you can't say that what you, Mike, you know how you kind of get soundbited and they say it's kind of about one person specifically. Well, Carrie, who was just fired, go on her Instagram an hour ago. You could hear her talking about how leadership and the vision is not the same thing, the way it's portrayed. And she worked 90-hour weeks. You could go on her Instagram and she's a verified person. So, I mean, this is public info. And yeah, there's just a bunch of things. I'm not going to spoil it. How about you go get it and hear it directly from the horse's mouth, they say, but I would use a different animal. But
all right,
a human, but
Jesus
the horses.
Christ, keep our DMs out of this show. How many times do we have
anyway,
to talk about
Jay, let's move right along. But
no, Tandy, let me say one thing on that to Mike.
I'm just saving Mike from being called a sexist because we have a woman saying that the leadership isn't matching what it should be. And she's worked in professional sports for 10 years. That's part of her story. She's saying, listen, I'm working 90-hour weeks. I haven't slept in the same bed 2 nights in a row for the past year and a half. She's really pleading her case. And,
sounds me before I got married. Here's what I would say to that is I don't know if you guys have been part of startup culture. Carrie just had, perhaps her first introduction to crazy ass startup culture.
That's what she said.
There's super disconnect. Leadership is always going a mile a minute, and they're in their hot air balloon, kind of figuring out their scorched earth policy. And the people on the ground are just trying to pick up the pieces and figure it out. I've been working in the startup space, for the last couple of years and on and off throughout my career. It's always a fucking shit show. So in defense of Roham and whomever else at Dapper, yeah, man, that's part of the job. Coming to work for a startup in a brand new industry in a turbulent time, in a volatile space, it's always going to be a shit show. Nobody's done this before. So, I'm a critic, obviously, oftentimes, but at the same time, you got to be realistic about it.
Sure. What I will push back on, and there's plenty of buzzwords people will use to justify things like this, but startup culture isn't an excuse for bad. And Web3 isn't it's Web3. That's not an excuse for bad, right? That's
show me good in Web3. Who the fuck is doing good in Web3 with few exceptions?
Yeah. Andy, he's doing.
Andy's winning.
Andy's crushed it. But truly, that's where my frustration always comes when people use a buzzword or and I'm not saying that's what you were doing, Jay, but in general, where it's dude, yeah, man, that's Web3, and I'm Web3 is not an excuse for you to suck at getting communication out. That's not an excuse for that because it's not this is your first fucking job. You worked in Web2 before you came to Web3, so
well, not really though. I mean. Because you're right? They hire lawyers to create their game. They hired a compliance officer, to help lead marketing. They hired somebody from a DFS platform, right? So they thought they were bringing in really good people, but these people actually don't really have experience in Web3.
Right.
So there's that.
So, but that is still tied to them being bad at hiring people then, right? Like
Clearly.
it all goes back to this. And again, I'm not saying individuals shouldn't have their jobs or bad or whatever, but I am saying that like, I don't know. I feel like I hear that all the time.
They
not
are
just
bad at not hiring people because I interviewed and they didn't hire me.
Yeah.
Bro, I interviewed. One of the head people there said, I want to hire you, but somebody on the team said, I can't hire you.
Yeah,
So, you know what I'm saying? Like
getting vetoed to not work somewhere is insane, but it's Web3.
But it's Web3. Hey, Tandy, there's some good things that Top Shot did this week. You want to talk about some of that stuff?
Yeah, let's I've been saying this for the last several months. I need a video for like when we want to start simping. I guess we'll just use this one.
I want that one so bad.
All right, can I ask a really stupid question? And like this just
most
shows
of your
you
questions
how
are, but go ahead.
disconnected I am from the culture.
Yeah,
Who
you don't
is
know what that
dude?
is.
I don't
Oh,
know.
man.
I've seen that dude on everything. I don't
Tim
watch
Robinson?
TV. Who the
Yeah,
fuck is that dude?
he's
Tim
a comedian.
Robinson. Yeah, comedian, and he came.
But
He
is he
made
on like
this
a popular show?
Netflix. I think you
Okay.
should leave.
Mm-hmm. He's also,
Right
you should
now?
check out the Detroiters that used to be on Comedy Central. That's a fantastic show. And he was on SNL for a hot minute too.
Okay.
Yeah, he has a clip that was very NBA related where he does
Okay.
the NBA theme song, and he
Okay.
does that at like a wedding or something. I'm sure you've seen this before, Mike, where he's doing like that NBA theme song. The guy with the long hair. What was the guy named? The NBA and NBC.
Oh,
Help me out here.
oh my God. Who's
That tall guy with like the long hair, and he like did it, and they're like playing it at a wedding, and
The
it's just really
musician.
silly. Yeah.
Yeah,
No one knows
it's,
the name, huh?
John Tesh, is that right?
Yes,
John
yes,
Tesh.
John Tesh.
Yes. Good job.
Thank you. I was
Good
just
job,
Googling
Jay.
it
You
now.
have won this round.
Basketball guy maybe could help a basketball brand. I don't know.
My,
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Tesh.
Usually, just because you knew it was John Tesh, I don't know if that means you're an insta hire.
I think it does. I think it's over. Anyhow,
I'm not saying you're not hireable. I just don't know if John.
I'm not.
I just don't know if
I'm-
John Tesh puts it over the
I'm
top.
so combustible, Mike. It's just I don't know.
but yeah, so there have been some nice
Agreed,
pieces of
bro.
news today.
Agreed.
Today and I think yesterday. So today we heard about the Klay Thompson event. So it's kind of the usual, right? The top 3 collectors of Klay Thompson, the top 3 collectors of the Warriors, one random person from the top 1,000, and then one other random person, I think. And you get to go there. You get to go do whatever with Klay Thompson. Hopefully, go out on the water with him. Who knows?
That is I would love that if they had it. Probably can't for insurance purposes or liabilities, but that would be incredible.
That would be.
I mean,
incredible.
they own a yacht. It's not like they can't just use
There you
that
go.
one.
Well, they don't
Yeah.
own the yacht. He owns the yacht.
So
He owns they.
That's a good point.
they or they
At
them.
least for the next 12 to 18 months, let's figure.
So here's the thing, and I'm sure most of you probably feel the same way. But Jay, I saw that you on Twitter were saying how much you love this,
Yeah.
and how much you're just really excited for Alexo.
They call me Mr. Positivity. You know what it is? After I'm super critical, I always feel the need to just be super complimentary. And then at some point, I'll probably become super critical again.
Yeah, you got to
Yeah,
keep them
I
on their
mean,
toes.
It's the
I'm-
balance.
I'm happy for Alex. I'm happy for Dingling.
Oh yeah.
I'm happy for Cute Nick. Man, you should see some of those VIP transcripts. Some of these people are not who they purport themselves to be. But yeah,
It's
man.
called Cute Nick Ugly.
No, cute, and super nice. Everybody's super nice in there. They're very respectful of the minivans, as they call them, the rest of the collectors on the platform. But listen, that's another story for another day. The minivan, it's so funny. No, I think it's awesome that Alex is going to travel the world with NBA Top Shot. He's going to become best friends with Meg.
Maybe
no,
she could teach him how to hoop.
No, have you seen Alex hoop? It ain't happening.
But that's what I'm saying.
Oh, I've seen
Meg-
Alex take a couple jumpers.
We've seen Alexo take a couple jumpers. Listen, the world would have never seen it.
The world should never see
Yeah,
it.
he would.
Listen, Tandy, I think
But here,
it's good.
hold on.
It's good. It's good. It's good.
It's good. It's
These
good,
are
but
dope
obviously there's-
experiences.
But obviously,
Yeah, so
there's
what?
ways they
so,
need to.
So
improve
75% of the people are the people who are spending the most money. That's what happens in life. Like at least 25% of the winners could be random. They could be anybody on the platform. What do we want? Like 75% of the winners, invest $20 in the platform. Then everybody's going to cry that there's no kind of cost for entry, and then the platform can't survive that. You have to reward your biggest collectors. I think it's really smart that people in VIP are getting free tickets to the tour events. That's how it should have
That
been.
one was awesome. See, that
Yeah.
one makes more sense, by the way, because that one is not just like top 3, where like to get to that top 3 is basically impossible at this point if you're anywhere like farther down. What, in my opinion, so that's a great example. So hopefully they're moving more in that direction, because they have to broaden it out. Still, it can go towards the people who are dropping the big bucks, and they should get that. Then there should always be one random schmo who gets to go, right? And just try to be a little more strategic here, because if these are marketing events, but you're sending the same 3 guys to every event, then how's that broadening your reach exactly?
Yeah, I totally agree. I think I think it should be a mix. Like if Alexo dropped just freaking coin and so did Dingaling, yeah, they should hang out with Klay Thompson. I'm fine with that.
Exactly.
But
Me too.
I love the idea, maybe instead of giving me 15 more flash challenge moments, you know what? You complete tonight's flash challenge. There's 10 raffle tickets into an opportunity to go to the next tapped in. And that spans the entire, like each time you complete one, you get X amount of tickets that go in for the entirety of like the season or whatever. So every time we spin the wheel we love wheels. Every time we do it for tapped in, I don't know, just getting a little more creative with trying to get people to these IRL things. I think that is the way to go.
I love that. And I think that's also a way, because I wanted to ask you guys too. We can talk about the burning for a second. And what I'm alluding to as well is like the burning was great. Although something I didn't perceive that I read on Twitter was like all those sort of strange other S1 TSDs of these players. It wasn't their like actual TSD. It was those weird, more expensive ones. Mm-hmm. And the actual TSDs were not touched yet. So they're still holding on to those. They're
not going to
so
be
that
touched.
That was a little confusing. So I'm not quite sure what's going on with those. All right. So
they're not going to burn the stuff we really want them to burn. They're not going to burn
like RJ Barrett's other moment, not the triple badge.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but they're I think like for some of the stuff I did like the challenge rewards I thought was good. I thought like because they're burning some of the MGLEs too from the Series 1 MGLE. So I don't know. I know like some people who were really into the MGLE TSDs. I was glad they did that too. I'm curious why they're not doing the rest of those other base set Series 1s. Like I'm wondering what the thought, maybe because they want to continue these like locker room pack type shit.
No doubt.
That's
they
what I would
they want to
imagine.
continue to lift up the floor. They've made it clear. They want the floor to always be worth something. They want to continue to put dope shit in the locker room packs. It's also, unfortunately, who knows if it's intentional or not, it just continues to feed the early adopter beast, right? Because like who even has these challenge rewards from Series 1? It's the early adopters. I didn't even know half of these moments existed. They were not even on my radar. So those are the guys that got them. This is a way to protect them, from more competition. But I think also from what I was told, yeah, exactly, John. From what I was told, in a lot of these cases, people never actually earned these moments, right? Like they did challenges and they over minted for whatever reason. Mm-hmm. So I guess it's a nod to the people who went through the process and played the game that, nobody else can kind of swoop in and steal their thunder, whatever. It's not a big deal.
So Lonzo's going to get burned to hell.
I guess.
That's fine. It's time.
I think it was like a he got game Lonzo or something.
Nobody collects those anyway, really, right? Like
no one cares about the LA to New York set and those weird ones, but
yeah, it would have been great, if they had burned the rest of the Series 1 supply, because I think it's those Series 1 common moments that in a lot of ways have been holding up the market for a year and a half. People have been afraid to buy them because they know that there's just this continual leak of new stuff coming out. But in theory, those should be the grails. That's the stuff that was kind of the original high-end stuff on the platform. And it's happened that way. It's continued to kind of go down and down and down. Every time they do a new locker drop, people pull them for a couple bucks. They flip them. They continue to push the market down. Guys like Andy, they want out. They got 100 of each. They push the market down. It would be nice to just kind of end the insanity, but they've decided.
I saw Safa's comment there too. I didn't even think about that, but maybe because the community voted on how to do it, they feel like they're obligated to stick to that. That's a good point. But even when we voted on it, we thought we were unloading them all at once. I remember the realization when they're like, "Hey, it's for the next 18 months."
I sure as hell thought we were voting to release them all.
Everybody did. No one was
next
like
locker packs.
No one voted on that, being like, "Oh yeah, this will be great over the next year and a half."
No, we got duped.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Noam actually made a good comment as well, which is like when they did the trading in your trade tickets, or not trade tickets, trading in your rares for the the NBA whatever league pass. This was such a great idea for so many reasons, but the biggest reason, of course, is that it is not an inflationary reward. It's a completely deflationary reward. You're not getting moments in return. And I think that blends really well with what you said, Mike, which was use those trade tickets as like raffle tickets. And I wish they would just lean into that. And if it's not going to be that, then it's got to be something also like the locker room packs for the S1 then, where like
it's on their radar. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
I mean, Matt came into VIP recently and he hears it all the time. Like Matt's the guy that is determining how all the game mechanics work. Like it's him, right? Like everybody knows that by now. And he gets bombarded. No, I was just like, he gets bombarded with ideas. He responds to them. He's like, yeah, that sounds great. Yeah, I'd like to be able to do that. I think they don't have the tech to facilitate a lot of the things they want to do for some reason. That's why we haven't seen locking challenges as part of Flash challenges yet. They know that people loved the League Pass promotion. They know that people loved being able to part with some stuff they didn't want in order to get something they did want. It helps the overall economy. It helps their other collection. So they definitely want to do more of that. I've advocated for things like, get a pair of Nikes, right? Or bring in brand partners who can not just provide new utility to people who are collecting within the platform, but also it becomes a revenue center, right? You bring in big brands that in theory want to reach this web savvy basketball loving fan base. They'll spend presumably a decent amount of money to put their shit inside of locker packs or inside of rewards for Flash challenges. It doesn't have to be moments all the time. Why hasn't that happened? I don't know. It's shocking to me. I work in Web3. There's not a sports brand out there that doesn't want to further ingratiate themselves to a Web3 user base. So I don't know.
It's true.
So here, by the way, the first challenge has gone live from this pack. This is from, of course, the Fresh Threads Rare, which I actually do like. I thought the Fresh Threads Common was such a throwaway, garbagey set that no one really cared about, and I think that choosing fewer players, more higher impact players, and putting it in a rare set is fine. But anyway, I was curious what this was going to be. I was curious if maybe you'd have to burn or use some of those old moments. It turns out not the case. You have to just lock these other 3 rares to earn the DeJounte Murray. I'm trying to recall how many rares there were total. So then the next one is also going to just probably be the same thing. I thought it was 7 moments.
I don't know. Whatever.
I wish this included something with the S3 set.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Like you should have to something. Yeah.
Right. Like burn 10 of them or something.
Or have the set locked and then have one fresh thread from the new thing, the new packs.
Or I have an unrelated question. I'm like looking at the chat while we're talking.
Okay.
Since when did John and Jeb join your? Is it because Mike is here?
What do you mean? Jeb's here like all the time.
Their show is later. They're just trying to drop links, like Mike said.
I like John's comment though. Did you guys see? They're giving
John really wants to talk about the jerseys.
we had a laugh about that.
Oh, yeah, I thought that was an old comment, but I think he's coming back again. Did you guys miss the 4 jerseys? I think he
said it about 11 times from what I can track.
I mean, I actually didn't mind that. I thought, because here's the thing. When I was,
it's fine. It's not a bad thing.
It's harmless.
No, it is fine. It is fine. I think what I loved is that my entire timeline was making fun of how terrible these jerseys are, and then the one Top Shot tweet I got was like, "How about 4?" And like I just loved the idea. It just felt very poetic.
I like the Hawks jerseys. I fuck with them. I want one.
Yeah, the Hawks ones are fun. It was mostly I've seen Charlotte, Golden State. I saw those get dunked. Yeah, the Golden State one was really weird. I thought Portland's was fine.
I mean, we can bring those up. Let's see him. We'll see which ones are terrible. I mean, I know Mike, you shared the Clit one, which is definitely confusing.
Sorry.
Yeah, you didn't see the Clit one. Here it is. You see, 4th from the top. That seems to be the Charlotte Clits.
Oh yeah,
must be an expansion team.
It looks different than when I used to look at it.
I heard from
Well-
people from Charlotte who were like, actually, we like this better than when they put CHA because no one in Charlotte refers to Charlotte as CHA. It's the
So that's pretty.
CLT.
That's pretty bad. You're happier that your jersey says clit on it than CHA. I mean, that's pretty bad. Is that like the people who?
I'm impressed. Most of the Top Shot people got that joke, just considering most of them are virgins. I was surprised.
I didn't find it.
Yeah,
Wait,
that was my joke. That was my joke.
Is it
first
still a
back.
virgin if you have sex with trees?
With
Trees?
trees?
Yeah. Does
What are
that
you
qualify
talking
as a
about?
virgin?
Where?
Well, no, he's talking about the collector base, right?
Trees, like
Trees.
am I missing something?
In the
Tree.
yard.
Hugging.
You haven't seen those videos?
Oh.
People having sex with trees? Am I missing something?
Apparently, yeah.
I don't know. What's
All right,
going on
anyway,
here.
let's continue.
This
But
would
yeah,
be the moment that Ben got the show canceled, by the way. Like, if he was here, this is the moment where it would have happened.
Yeah,
Ben is
but yeah,
rolling in his neck brace right now.
I know. Is that brace they put on the dogs
Mike
and they don't
doesn't
want to
know
lick
about the neck
themselves?
brace.
You got hurt?
I don't
Ben
think-
got hurt?
Ben's been in a neck brace for like, what, 3 months now?
Yeah, Ben.
But he
was
can
trying
take
some
it
very
off,
exotic.
and that's when he comes on stream. He could take it
He's
off for
trying
an
From
some
like
hour.
very-
the up and down motion, he did too much of that.
No, he was doing one of those very exotic yoga poses, and he like broke his neck or something. So now he's in one of those dog collars where you can't lick yourself. But anyway, yeah, he's got a cone on. But the Warriors jersey looks like something off of AliExpress. Let's be serious.
It's
That
weird.
looks
It's
that
weird.
It does.
that might be worse than the clit jersey.
It's a
Yeah.
rose. It's like a feather, or I mean, a
Weird.
flower. Why did I say feather? It's a
And
flower,
who-
I think.
Why we
Uh,
got a flower?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
The Milwaukee, they got to stop doing this blue thing. They've
Yeah,
done
I
it 2
agree.
years in a row, and it's so
Yeah, it
weird.
looks
It's so
terrible.
weird to see Giannis in blue.
I like that the Knicks just did a Knicks jersey. They're like,
I know,
fuck
it's-
it. Here's just a normal jersey.
Yeah, the
I know
Knicks-
that's
they
all their
understood
jerseys
the
always look like
assignment.
that.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's just terrible. There's a lot of terrible jerseys here. The Dallas
like
one, I
E-Rock.
think,
You
is
like
What
the
much
about
better.
Atlanta one?
PDX?
I think Atlanta looks good, man.
Am I
Atlanta looks
crazy?
pretty
What
good
is
too.
that?
PDX is like the Portland airport or something like that. I think. I don't know.
Yeah, the Portland
The
airport.
Orlando.
Did the Top
looks
Shot
normal.
collectors get the? Is that the crew? Did they get to name
crew.
the jersey? Is that Top Shot Utility,
Oh, I don't
Wait.
think so.
or what are they? Nah, they're like the Blazer. What are they called?
What
They
are you
have a
talking
cool
about right
name.
now?
Rip City Packs or something.
Oh yeah, the
Rip
Rip
City.
City. Rip
I was
City.
just making a joke, like they, how the teams always have some weird acronym. Like every team
Oh,
has their
okay.
own little thing. I don't
Mike,
know,
when is Rip City shipping you out there to stream from a bar?
I don't know. They haven't reached out yet.
I think the Nuggets collectors should do that. You've been a strong Nuggets fan for a very
Dude.
long time, and I think the captain should hit you up.
Do you know what I tried to do? I tried to push this. I don't know if it's going to happen. It probably won't. But I tried to push that they should be doing something similar to that for these tour events, right? Because like when we went out to Summer League, they do Top Shot will do like a curated video that that'll come out like a week later or something like that. And it's really good. It is like they always do a really good job with that. But I just think like these types of events are really, really cool, but only a small group of people, a small population is going to be able to go to them. If you can find ways to make it seem like the people that can attend are still engaging with it a little bit, I just think that goes a long
100%.
way. And it
Sean
makes them feel
promised
like
me
a
he's
part of
going
it.
to do that, for the record. A couple weeks ago, I posted something about why aren't they, promoting and publicizing what these team captains are doing. And I got a DM like 2 minutes later saying, hey, can you please stop, killing us about not supporting the team captains programs? I assure you it's on our radar. We're going to start doing it.
So
Yeah.
he said they're going to start doing what now?
He was vague about it, but he basically said they're going to start promoting more of what the team captains are doing, their events, their,
But I don't think that's
their
really.
game day
I mean, I don't.
experiences.
That's kind of what Mike's saying, but not 100%. I mean, the way I see it is this: let's pretend the Nets play a game tonight, Jay.
Yeah.
And Ben Simmons scores not just 6 points, but he scores 16 points.
Whoa.
And
He's smoking.
everyone is freaking the hell out. Future Hall of Famer Ben Simmons, and you're like, I got to see those highlights, right?
Yeah.
Well, you're going to go to your computer that night or that
Right.
morning, in my case, and go check out
Immediately.
those highlights. You're
Right.
not going to wait a week and a half later and then watch
Right.
those highlights. And
To be
now,
fair, it'll probably be a week and a half later before he scores again. So I still
well,
want to see it.
it'll probably take him a week and a half to score 16 points. But
Yeah.
that's the whole point. It's got like this Web3. It's like immediate.
You want immediacy. You
And that's
you
what
want what's happening live.
Yeah.
And that was the pitch. I was like, what if we did something where, because like when we went to Summer League the first time, we like churned out a vlog like pretty much immediately. And I was like,
Yeah.
dude, just send us out there. We'll do a live stream so that it can be like fun for the people that aren't there. And then like either to start the next day, we'll have like, assuming Summer League's like a 3-day event, right? Or 4-day event when Top Shot collectors are out there. The beginning of each day, there's a like video recap of what just happened. So like everyone else can still participate. Find other ways for them to be able to engage because they're not going to be there instead of them just feeling like they're missing out. I just think there's way, and I'm pumping my own bags. I'm like, I would like to do this, but I think, utilize the content creators
How many
that are
people
out there.
tuned into your live stream at the Hawks
The Atlanta
Knicks
one?
game? Yeah.
I think the Atlanta one was like 300. We had like 300 live viewers, I think.
That's
And
world
then
changing.
and then wait, what'd you say? That's what changing?
That's
He's,
world
he's saying
changing.
that's world
That's
changing.
world
Yeah, I
changing.
think
No, well,
he's trying to be
but-
sarcastic.
That's like 10% of the Top Shot community. So that's pretty solid. And then
That's good.
and then we had I think a little bit less, I think like 100 150 or something for like the Knicks one that we did.
But it's tough because the quality isn't there, right? Like to be able to broadcast something live or share an experience with a virtual audience, it has to be high quality because part of what we're doing is we're catering to existing users, but everything that they invest in, it has to have a nod towards if I'm a new user wanting to come into this ecosystem, what's going to attract me? I couldn't hear a fucking thing you were saying when you were broadcasting from that game.
And if I was doing it backed by a company that just sold 55,000 packs, like, hey, maybe you pay for a fucking camera. I wouldn't, if we were doing it for them, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be doing it like I did it on my budget. So like that is what that's going to look like, right? But if you had like, there are definitely ways to do it. We've seen like live streams from different.
You know what
events.
you should have done, Mike? Honestly, I don't even know why you didn't think of this. You should have asked Jack at SoRare if he could have pitched in. They have money. He probably could have pitched in to get you a better video setup. Would have been a much better broadcast.
Listen, it's Top Shot always has the first dibs, and then when they inevitably tell me yes, but then no, that's when I'll reach out to SoRare. That's usually how that goes.
That's fair.
Yep, that's how that went down. But like, I will say though, Mike, the video you guys made for Summer League 2 years ago, that was very good.
And that's what I'm saying. Like you do the live stream and then have a separate thing that's just like a vlog, like we did for that Summer League one was fire. That's Disney. That's Disney money right there with Greg.
Dunbar pumped that out. How long did that take him to edit?
Not long. Like Greg. So Greg can do that in like an hour usually. Like if we have all the footage ready to go. Yeah, that one probably took him a little bit longer. But so fun fact, Greg and I met at a leadership high school camp like 20 years ago, and we worked together on some shit afterwards. And so like part of the thing that we would do is we would shoot these videos like during the day and then have them ready for viewing that night. So you can like turn that stuff around in like an hour or so. So he's a superstar. Yeah.
Yo, can I stop this for a second?
Go ahead.
Jay. You guys see the news an hour ago? Kyrie was let go by the Nets.
No, did you just get got? You get got again by a fake Woj account?
Did I?
Yeah,
probably.
Ah, shit! Somebody texted me, and now I'm looking at Twitter, and I think it was fake. Motherfucker.
This is the problem with this ingenious idea.
And they had a fucking blue check mark like Mike.
Blue check.
That's what I'm saying.
Listen, full disclosure. I tried to do this for Tony. But then I was in my Tony account. I wanted to verify Tony. And then all of a sudden, it said no. And then when I flipped over to my account, I was verified. I was pretty pissed off about it.
Interesting.
So there you go. 21,000. Yeah. I don't think I can actually. I mean, I'm in like Portugal. They don't let you. But there's 21,500 likes. Yeah. 8,441.
To be fair, I got a text. So that's what. Okay.
Look at those retweets going. They're going wild right now. This is the problem here.
It is a problem.
And you could tip people that are verified now.
I mean, you could tip.
Is that
people
the incentive of being verified?
I mean, you could tip.
If you hit back, it says.
Here you go, Jay. There you go. Brooklyn Nets star.
Oh man.
There you go.
So
that's where you're getting
KD is balling. Can we talk about KD for a second?
That's all he's got left.
Good. That's all he's got left.
He's been
tore his penis off.
Back to regular scheduled broadcasting.
Oh, you don't want to talk about KD's penis? All right, fine.
So I think he'll drop into NLL. We'll talk about it.
NLL. That's true. Let's talk about KD's involvement in the NLL. Here we go. Let's take a live look at him. All right.
Yeah,
So
that's
Jay,
Soho
give it.
Lounge.
Give us
I'll
the
always
inside
bring
look.
back the fact that we gave KD a Nine Lives Lounge membership for free. The community.
Wasn't it one
Cam
guy?
take credit for it.
What?
Cam, tell us what you did.
What did I do?
What'd you do to KD? You gave him a bunch of stuff?
Nah, this is what should have happened. Is when we gave KD all the Nine Lives Lounge membership requirements, all 30 moments as a community, we look back and think that was before the cutoff, the Snapchat for the hoodie and the hat. Why did he never get the hoodie and the hat if he got it and he got into the snapshot? Like why wasn't that, pushed or agreed upon on the next deal that they did with KD or the next deal that they did with KD with the email situation? So there was a constant thing. Like there was a contract and he was doing things periodically and that wasn't part of it. Why did he not go to a press conference wearing the little moment symbol if
Because
he
he
is a
wasn't
part
paid
owner
to do it.
with the boardroom?
Yes.
Like he
'Cause he
owns the
Ding,
does
ding,
boardroom.
ding, 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 ding.
Nah, man, dude, these guys are in such high demand. Like these guys get paid millions and millions of dollars for endorsements. You think he gives a fuck about a hoodie and a fucking hat? Like, come
Yeah.
on, man.
But I'm
Like,
saying
yeah, it's
Top Shot has the
adorable that a
ability
bunch of
to make him care, whether it's monetarily or not.
Okay.
it didn't work. It didn't work. He probably came into that Discord, saw a bunch of nerds argue each other, calling each other minivans or whatever the fuck they do in that Discord. And he's like, you know what? This probably ain't for me. I already get enough of nerds on Twitter. I'm just going to go back to my regularly scheduled life. And that was that. But
Hold on,
But
he
was
can't
it
Jay.
hate
not
on
mailed
KD
to
for it.
him? Did he just like throw it away? Like
He
what's the
doesn't
story
care.
on
Dude, guys
it?
like that get things mailed to them every day. He probably has fucking 20 closets full of free shit that he gets.
But why
Yeah.
wasn't it mandated that he take a picture in it? Why didn't they have that ready for their commercial and photo shoot? Like why
Because
wasn't
whoever cut the deal with him didn't include it in the deal. I don't know.
and
But
they're
that-
not
that-
thinking
that's-
about their VIP, their
I
most
guarantee you,
important
if
customers.
Dior or Dave from NFL All Day cut the deal with him, all that shit would have been included. Because you see
100%.
the athletes they do deals with, those
And they
guys
go
pump
above
the
and
shit.
beyond.
Yeah, because they care and because they're probably being paid for it.
But here's your counterpoint. They're doing
Yeah.
that shit better, and it still doesn't matter. Like NFL
I
all
don't
day,
know
some
if it doesn't
shambles.
matter.
So I don't think it matters. But yeah, I agree that like it would have been great to see KD in his gear at the at the podium. However, what did he wear last night at the
But
podium?
that's organic marketing though. Like I
No
don't
one
think
knows.
we're missing that.
No, but it's not. It's only
That he
organic.
would wear that and it's NFL and I mean NBA people going, hey, da 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 da, and he's just wearing it and it's making it part of the culture. It's more brand awareness. And he doesn't even have to say what it is. It's just wearing it, them seeing a little NBA Top Shot logo, him wearing this little box hat and the back says NBA Top Shot. Like it really speaks for itself. And they don't even have to market it. They just have to print a hoodie and a hat, pay him whatever it takes to wear it, or just make it
Maybe,
part of the deal. And then he wears it one time out in public, and that's it. And
but maybe
that's
if
all they
KD
need.
heard about Top Shot from other people besides Top Shot, he'd think it was cool enough to want to embrace it as part of his personal brand. Like that's the reality of the situation. Like Top Shot is a lifestyle brand in that regard, and there's thousands and thousands of lifestyle brands out there that you're now competing with. And if you want to get on the radar of somebody who's super powerful, who has lots of brands and people and influencers in his ear, you got to be cool. Like, sorry, these guys aren't going to be rocking a brand that they don't think is cool, and Top Shot's just not cool yet.
I mean, he hung out with Jacob, and Jacob's cool.
Okay.
That's true. That is true.
But
I
Jacob
just-
didn't come with the hat and the hoodie either. It's just like it blows my mind, man. When we talk about this is the Soho house of Web3 and everything else, and they're just not putting those people even first or even just in mind, because that would have just been part of the checklist. Like it should just naturally be that. And I'm saying that as someone from the Nine Lives Lounge, but they want to talk about how they invented Web3 and they did all Web3 with crypto kitties, and Nine Lives Lounge is a homage to cats and crypto kitties. Like it just
They will reboot it.
I-
At some
I-
point, they're going to reboot Nine Lives Lounge. I promise you.
Well, I have to dip in a minute, but I want to make this point because I think it kind of ties back into what I was saying earlier. And like you were talking about like organic marketing, and you're talking about how it's supposed to be the Soho, but that was a reactionary thing, right? Like That wasn't the intent for it to be the Soho House. Like that happened because people got like so hyped up about it, dropped so many dollars on it, and then everybody was like, holy shit, like this wasn't how it was supposed to go. So then we say a thing, and now it's on the company to figure out how to make that thing happen. And then we've kind of been, and that's not even a shot at the Nine Lives Lounge.
They quote said it was that. No one said it before them.
No,
they
I
set
think
the
a guy.
expectations.
I think what Mike is saying is a guy said it. Nobody else knew he was going to say it.
The
Rohan.
leader
And then
and
they
owner
were
of
all
the
like,
company.
"What
Yes.
does that mean? And how are we doing that?"
Right. And so what I'm saying, I'm like circling that back down to like a truck full of flow and like how these things get said. And then everyone else now has to scramble to make that happen. And I think that's like a tall order. And then it ends up being like the only reason shout out Dumbo. I do love Dumbo, but the reason the Nine Lives Lounge has been somewhat successful, I'm not in it, so I don't know, but it's because of the work that the community collectors are already putting in, right? Like that's where that's coming from.
It has its own issues because even locking a Nine Lives Lounge set doesn't do anything. I haven't gotten a reward for it since locking has been invented. You know, just like certain things like that. I don't get it. I don't get what locking truly is doing other than letting them create more moments now. It's just I want consistency.
Yeah.
Well, that's not entirely true, Cam. I mean, locking your Warriors moments gives you a chance to meet Clay, a tiny chance, but that's part of the game.
There's one
right?
warrior in that set, and let me collect what I love. You know, I got the Curry,
saying, so
the record-breaking moment.
Locking your Bucks set gives you a chance to cook with Giannis, right? Like that's. I think just to play devil's advocate, I think sometimes we're a little hard on them, and they're figuring it out as they go along. This whole tapped in thing, like it just started a couple months ago. They've done a couple of them.
I love tapped in. I love that.
Yeah, it's dope. But who's to say that it won't be monthly at some point or weekly at some point? Or who's to say
You
it
don't
won't
make
be market
$100 million plus dollars and don't buy land? Oh, I thought my bad. Your screen froze, so I thought you were done.
Go ahead,
I
PackDrip.
don't know.
My fault. But they made over $100 million and didn't buy land.
Buy
Like,
land?
Is that bad business?
Hold on, land?
Land,
What
land.
What kind of land you want to buy?
There's only
what land are we
there's
talking
only
about?
so much land that you could on Earth. You get what I'm saying?
What? Hold on.
It's about like I'm gonna go way off the cliff on this.
What are we talking about right now?
How'd you make this much money and not like
Just
really
keep
build
going.
things out? I have some pillars on what Top Shot truly needs to do to fix itself as a business and to really become what it could be. And one of them is
buy land.
I'll go back to the buy land part, but the first one would be everybody at Dapper or at Top Shot must work at the building because there is communication issues out the wazoo, and that won't happen if they're all in the same place. You can tell me Zooms and yada yada yada. Oh yeah, Gnome. I'm going full third eye right now, but nah. But in reality, they need to all be in one building to get their comms straight. They need to love going to work. They need people who love working together and love this culture and build a certain culture itself. And make it fun, make it cool, like these dudes, I feel like they're all like on their bed, like just waiting for the next and they're like, oh my God, like what do I do? And they're all just in a fetal position at home and they're like, and that's what this is. And like, if they just went and did a standard thing and then maybe went home and they answered a few at home on their phone, that's fine. But like, they need to have like a normal work routine. It sounds crazy to say because everything's work from home and this was invented during COVID and it's Web3, it's crypto.
Cam, when you were a kid in school, did you have to walk 6 miles each way in the snow
No, but I woke up at 6:15 to catch the bus. Well, like the bus stop was like 6:15 or something, but yeah.
I think I get what you're saying. I think
and then from here.
Okay, now we're getting to.
I was getting into the 3 pillars.
That was pillar 1, Mike. We're now on pillar 2.
Pillar 1
Go ahead,
is
PackDrip.
being all in the same place. That is one of the most important things. The second one.
What's pillar 2?
They have a little land, and it ties into the second one. They basically have one facility that no one works at. It's an empty building. That's part of maybe something. If they weren't paying for that, why are they paying for it? It doesn't really make sense. They could have maybe saved somebody from the layoffs if they just didn't pay for an empty building that no one works at or no front-facing person works at. And I don't think the engineers do either.
I'm almost positive Alan lives in that building.
Maybe him. It's his office, and he's just
Does Alan still work
renting
for
it out.
Top Shot?
Alan
have to
invented
assume
Top
so.
Shot. What do you mean?
Oh yeah, but I thought he wasn't gonna. I don't know. Forget him.
But yeah, so this is the next one. Is they bought this little piece of land in the building, or they just rent some space. It doesn't really mean anything. They need tangible assets to actually solidify themselves as an NFT company. It sounds insane, but they need things behind them to show that they have value. We don't know what they do. We don't know what they have on their books. Their bread could already be spent up, and they could be on their last dollar going paycheck to paycheck like we are. But if they actually have functioning systems and people see them in place, it breeds confidence for a lot of reasons. And this goes into the second part, which is they should have basketball facilities, open gyms, kind of like a YMCA, but a basketball center that is
Why
also
not
like sponsored by the
JCC?
NBA.
Can I
And they need to
advocate for a JCC?
basically, but you know what? Yeah, I think Adam Silver would be approving of a JCC Top Shot arena, but that's besides the point. It's kind of like a JCC, but not a community center, but like a court. And you go in there, and it's like an LA Fitness. You know how you could go and they have a basketball court. Same
And you
thing,
can
and you have
play.
to have a Dapper wallet and Top Shot. I promise you, these kids would all
Token
have one.
gated
Like
JCC.
people my age are looking for open courts all the time. I'm from the birthplace of basketball, and there's no place to hoop. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the same struggle that a lot of people are going through all over the place. So if
We
there was
know
actually
Sean
basketball
hoops all the
facilities,
time. Sean's always uploading videos of himself.
I know
That's
he's
true.
in at his place.
He's in-
His hoop's
yeah.
nice. You see palm trees in the back. It's almost
Beautiful.
like 2K, like a My
It's
Player
beautiful.
thing, and he lives
It's
it in real
beautiful.
life. I love
Yeah, the
it.
sacrifice is Florida, though, right? It's a big it's give and take.
But yeah, they should have these basketball facilities to truly like ingratiate themselves into basketball culture. People are going to grow up just having Top Shot because they just wanted to go hoop, and by
Well,
accident they have some Giannis 40K just because they wanted to come hoop. You got to buy one of these things. It's $3 and I can hoop as much as I want. Okay, and it just generates this thing where eventually you're going to want to put together your lineup, and they have something at the facility that is kind of more like a game too. You
That's
go there,
dope.
maybe scan a code. I was
Fucking
here for
love Noam.
2 hours. There you go, Gnome. This is what I'm talking about. He's in on the troll, but
I think
I would
so.
do that.
for real.
I would do that.
Is this I think this is a good idea, but I also don't. I think that is like that's further
the
down the
least
road,
of their
right? Where
problems?
You have to
But
be like
why is it
successful
further down
first.
the road? Like
Because there's going to be like 4 people playing on 55 basketball courts. You know what I mean? Like there's not enough. I don't.
55.
I mean, I guess I think what you're saying right there is like people will sign up for Top Shot to go play
I
basketball.
swear to you, if you just say there is a facility that people can go play basketball at, people will go and then find out
So
how
what
much
you're
at the
saying,
door, how
Drip,
much
is
it costs to
this
get in.
isn't
The
necessarily
basketball will
just,
bring the people. You don't even have to tell them it's a product.
so it's not just for Dapper employees. So it's basically what Nike does or what Reebok does or what Adidas does at their corporate headquarters. They have basketball courts, and when they have clients,
Well,
in
they could have
town
a
or when they
court
have VIP,
definitely at the Dapper place where they work. There should be a court. 100%.
you want them to
They should have
create
their own
a
little like.
physical destination that basketball fans from all over can come and congregate and have the basketball experience of their life.
I'm not saying Dapper has to work there. I'm not saying their
Right.
headquarters has to be there. I'm saying they should just have like a kind of like you just build like a warehouse. You put a skin around it, you theme it, whatever you got to do, and you skin the inside. I seen what they did at the gym in Vegas. They put these big stickers. They're like 40-foot stickers. I'm calling them skins, like you could do on an Xbox or something. But yeah, they just put it up, boom, and it was a Top Shot facility in a few hours. They could do that same thing. You know how easy it is to build a warehouse? It's the cheapest thing to build.
Build a warehouse.
I mean,
I'm not saying it's easy, but I'm saying with their kind of funding.
Hold on,
You're
Packer.
acting
Let
like
someone else
they-
get a comment in.
I think there's like I think this is a good idea. I think they would have to hire a ton of people like to like maintain this to like that's I love it. I do.
They
love
have
the
a
idea.
foosball in the office. Is that not enough? That's it.
Foosball.
Wait, I
Um,
really do have to
It's
go.
not
Let's
even
go
basketball, and that's the other thing is it's never about
Hold on,
basketball.
hold on,
It's
Packer.
poker.
Let Mike
It's
make
mini
his
golf.
goodbyes.
I just need,
Go
I do
ahead.
need to go, but this hooks me back in that I feel like I need to hear the third pillar. So give me a little bit of the taste of the third pillar, and then I will see myself out as you guys go.
The third it's another thing about being somewhere up and personal, and that's kiosks. What in the world? The biggest thing, those are my 3 pillars to growth: kiosks, employees in the same building and not on a Zoom call, and calling that a culture and building community within your organization. You have a master's in leadership. Would you consider building a company throughout that, Mike?
I'm building one right now, PackDrip.
Mike
Wait,
has a master's in leadership.
In
You bet your
leadership
ass,
counseling,
baby.
I think.
Mike
Isn't
has
it?
a
Maybe I
master's in
misquoted what your
something?
master's in.
curriculum,
But
no, curriculum and instruction, but in focus on leadership development. Yeah.
curriculum instruction.
Yeah.
I don't know, Cam. Here's what I would say: the kiosk thing, they've obviously shot down for the longest time.
And
I don't think the
why?
kiosk is necessary. Here's what I
Yeah.
think, and I've been tweeting about it
Fake
from
news.
time to time. If you're in an arena, 15,000, 20,000 people are in an arena,
Yeah.
big play happens. We've had game winners already this season. 5 minutes after that big play happens, the team, who's hopefully partnered with Dapper and Top Shot, sends out a text message to everybody in that arena. If you want a digital collectible, a keepsake, whatever they want to call it, of the moment that you just witnessed, and it's yours, you'll own it forever. They don't have to know what Top Shot is. They don't have to know what NFTs are. They don't have to know what crypto is. If they do that once a game, once a week, once a month, once a season for each team, all of a sudden you're exposing this digital collectible thing to hundreds of thousands or millions of people right there on their device. They click a button, they onboard onto Top Shot. They can begin having their experience. To me, that's way more cost effective than putting up these
QR codes, baby.
5, 6, 7, figure kiosks. Way more effective, to be honest.
Why are they spending that money on kiosks? I see Joe Schmo selling dogs, and I bet you he's making over $100K a year just selling dogs at a game. You know what I'm saying? Like,
who is
people just
selling
set up little
dogs at
kiosks.
Well,
games?
hot dogs.
Oh, hot dogs. That makes so much more
I
sense.
will say, man, so when I was in college, I lived right outside Fenway, and I wanted to work in the stadium so I could like see a bunch of shit. And so I worked for, I think it was like MasterCard. And I was just like one of those guys who was like, you sign up for a credit card, you get a fucking Red Sox towel, baby. Like, hey, get your fucking towels here. Is basically what I was doing. No, but no one likes that. That's my point. Was like,
I don't care that you could say people don't like carnival barkers. Carnival barkers make sales every time because carnival barkers are still being paid. If carnival barking didn't work, it would have stopped a long time ago.
All right. Yeah.
I think it could work. It could work, but again, I think in their list of things that need to be priorities and where they should put their money, I genuinely think a text message once a game will get the point across. You don't need to invest in a massive kiosk that 4 people every hour could actually come and experience. That's the problem. It's not scalable.
Well, their kiosk was clunky. It only took cash for some weird reason, and then they also had UNLV workers, the college kids who work on campus and run the arena. They were working the kiosk.
You paid card, right? I paid card.
Card and cash, but it wasn't Dapper.
Oh, got you.
The whole system was flawed until we went to Vegas the second year, and now it was different. The way we pre-ordered the packs was much different. Mike, you did both years, so you're the only person on the stream that could attest to it. Was it different purchasing this year than last year?
Yeah, it was different. It was less sexy this year for sure.
This year, I walked up to Jamie
and
I gave
but it was
her
more
my
efficient.
phone.
Yeah. It was more efficient.
It was more efficient this year. I mean, they still had to write down a whole list. I seen with the process, and as you walked in, they wrote down your name and did a little checkbox and had a whole clipboard with papers with everyone's name and Top Shot username on it and everything to verify. So I mean, there's still some clunkiness they could clean up, but it's already evolved into something else that apparently is being streamlined and run by professionals. So that's what I'm saying. It feels like if they actually had Dapper salesmen, if they had Jacob and Brandon in there, or Dior and Jacob or somebody from Dapper, and also some oh my god, I don't even want to get into it.
Well, all right, but I
want to get hired from Dapper, and if I was the next person hired, I would decline it, because if they hire another white person, I'm gonna rip my hair out.
Are you white?
The diversity needs to be fixed.
That's pillar 4, but because I agree with that, and I wasn't trying to make a joke, but I do want to end on this for me. You guys can keep going. Tandy, before you guys end this stream, please make PackDrip go full screen, and then I want a concise, quick, efficient 3 pillars to Top Shot success. Clip that, throw it in YouTube Shorts. We're gonna get PackDrip elected by the end of the night. All right.
I like it. All right. Well,
Tandy, thanks for having me on, man. And Jay, PackDrip, it's good hanging with you guys.
all right. Thank you,
Thanks
Mike.
for
Thanks for
coming
being
by,
here.
Mike.
I'm going to give you a weird wolf howl, and we'll see you soon. All right. Well, there's the weird wolf howl from Mike, and then there were three.
Okay.
So are we
And-
doing the YouTube short right now?
I mean,
Why don't you save that till the end?
All right.
all right. So let me just check my notes here if there's anything else we want to chat about. So was there anything else in that VIP chat with Roham that you felt was worth discussing? Did the thing? Yeah, I'll just say that. Is there anything else in that chat that you think is worth discussing?
Listen, the truth of the matter is, Roham reached out to me earlier that day, and I'm not going to give away too much of kind of what he asked or what the conversation was, but it was kind of along the lines of, there's some really important comms that need to come out. What do you think? Are we better off doing and then allowing people to kind of embrace what we've done and then talk about what comes next? Or should we kind of come out and announce an announcement like we always do, get people hyped up and then do stuff? I said, fuck no. You need to stop the announcing of the announcements. It never goes over well. Just do 2 or 3 great things, and then you can kind of come out, give a State of the Union or whatever the case may be, with one caveat. The VIP crowd, I've been lurking in their channel over the last few weeks for the first time, really, since I don't even know when I became a VIP, to be honest, but I never really spent time in there.
Yeah,
I said like the inmates are going crazy because that chat has gone very negative. Lots of super angry people in there. There's kind of class warfare every 5 minutes in there, and the truth of the matter is, they're the biggest spenders on the platform. My estimate is they support 50 to 80% of sales on the platform. So, whether we like them or not, or whether they're good people or not, most of them are good people. There's definitely a few pricks in there from what I can see. They need love, right? They're the people who are bankrolling this whole thing. So I said, you should probably get in there sooner than later. I was out. I didn't even know he was coming in. I wasn't there for the chat. I came back later that night, kind of checked out the transcript. The funny thing is, in the VIP channel, like they always talk like we all do, right? Like we're on DMs all the time. People are on Twitter. People are on their team Discords. We're always talking amongst ourselves. They should do this. They should do that. Why don't they do this? Let's ask them this question. Very few of those kind of hard-nosed, provocative questions were asked. It was all very. Is that new jump shoot? Or are you talking about what happened in the past? They asked a few questions. He gave a few kind of lukewarm answers. I think he put people at bay momentarily. I don't think they were like super enthusiastic about what they heard, but at the same time, he knows how to come into a room and do a little bit of his magic. And clearly, they're working on some important things, and we're starting to see some of that stuff.
How are we summarizing it though? How was the vibe from? You're saying though you weren't even in there, in
I
the
wasn't,
VIP,
but I mean, I look back and I saw the transcript, and obviously for the last few days since he was in there, they're all still talking about it, and what
in a positive way, because there didn't seem anything
way.
that
Nothing
real meat and potatoes.
Nothing groundbreaking happened. Similarly, I talked to Brian, the head of VIP, a few days ago, and he said, we've got some really important stuff coming out. We saw a couple of those things today. Obviously, VIP gets free tickets to the tour events. I think people will like that.
That's
if
huge.
they're not at the tour events, like they'll be able to pay money and buy some of the tour packs, which people like because they're scarce and people can flip them. And that's what people want to do. But no, nothing earth shattering happened. It's just he hadn't been in there in months. And, when you spend a lot of money, you want to be able to talk to leadership, and he's the guy in charge. And I think it appeases people to at least have, some level of communication with him. So it did that, but I don't think anything drastic came of it, to be honest.
Here's a question I have for you guys, and maybe the answer is stupidly easy, but what do you think has happened to using trade tickets to buy packs? Because we haven't seen that for a while, and we didn't see that this time. And where do you think it's going? Like, obviously we have to do something with all these, so many trade tickets, so many $2 moments on the website, where now
it's not going anywhere. They just said yesterday with their burn announcement, they're funneling stuff into locker room packs. They also said, I think at the beginning of the season, a portion of all packs are going to go into the locker room. So locker room packs are here to stay, man. Like, they are going to keep this artificial floor of floor moments for, the however long, for in perpetuity. They want to give valueless moments value. They want it to be a form of currency. They haven't done a cash raise in a while. They needed some money. Trade tickets didn't suffice this time around, but I think pretty soon you'll see some trade packs for sure.
You think that'll be a positive? I mean, is that a good thing? I just want to see people get rid of like millions of this stuff. Like it's taken in my estimation. I know it's only been a couple of weeks of the flash challenges and things of that nature, but I just think at this point there's literally no difference between you go look at a Trae Young. You got a 60K, a 40K, a 35K, a 15K, a 10K. Now we're about to have like a 5.
They've told us for a long time since they did the flip on collector's score that commons aren't supposed to matter. They want entry level people to be able to play around with nearly worthless stuff, whether it's a 10K or a 20K or a 50K or a 60K or a 22K, whatever. It doesn't matter.
So
there will be endless supply of useless stuff, and the goal is, as a collector, either you genuinely love the moments or you genuinely want to collect every single moment that ever exists of your favorite player or your team, and you want to kind of be a team collector or a set collector, or you want to play the higher price game where the common stuff is completely irrelevant to you and you're going to go after the scarcer stuff. They're trying to balance both 100%.
But that also doesn't really make sense to me because it should be a ladder system. It shouldn't be everything is schmutz until you get to the rares. That makes no sense. It should be like schmutz and then you kind of work your way up. And you just try to keep working your way up. It's not
commons are commons. That's what they've said for a year now. None of it matters. It's all interchangeable. New pretty pictures, new branding, new edition sizes, new names for collections. It's not supposed to matter. I'm not involved in the cardboard industry. From what I've heard, that's the way cardboard works. So much of it is worthless by design. It's purely a lotto. You're just trying to score the big stuff or go on the marketplace and buy the big stuff. The difference is in Top Shot land, if you have the big stuff, it can qualify you for cooking with Cade Cunningham.
Yeah, but again, you have to have so much of the big stuff. It's not a ladder system. It's either totally at the floor with the schmutz, or
but you don't. You need to have a Top Shot score in the top 1,000. There's only 1,000 people on most of these leaderboards.
But that's
you're guaranteed. So but I'm saying like anybody can get onto any of these team leaderboards and have a chance at every one of these local lean or whatever they call them, these events that they're doing.
Because you're talking about like the top 1,000 collectors part.
Yeah.
But that's still it's still kind of broken though. Like I think no one's gonna massively disagree with me there, but yeah, it shouldn't be the case though that there's all these moments that all basically are the same value, same, like it's just all the same. Yeah. And until it feels like there's some kind of working your way up, it's gonna be that way. And now,
but how? The only way it'll ever feel like you're working your way up is if Top Shot continues to change the rules of their game, and they put their finger on the scale again, and they say, you know what, this set is special because X, or this set is special because Y. And that kind of takes away from the natural kind of inclination of collecting stuff, right? Like it has to be up to the consumer at some point. If you don't want all of this, unscarce stuff, then don't buy it. Like,
well, I also think though, to me, because if I'm trying to think of a way around this, right? Because right now you're talking about the way it is now.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to think about is what are potential solutions, and who knows if those solutions will ever
100,000
happen.
users.
Well, is that even enough? Because maybe it is. Okay, fine. If you have 100,000 users, but if my opinion is you need like mass levels of burning across all those different tiers editions of each player. So like it'll be a Trae Young challenge and you have to burn just a crap load of his 60K, and then it's his 40K, and it's his 35K. Because then eventually what will happen is like there'll be less and less of each one, and you'll have to decide what you value more based on how much is left of each one.
Listen, last night we had the Cade challenge. I think it's the third time that people had to burn Donovan Mitchell rare moments in the last few months. 3 times. People have to burn, whatever supply is already out there, and it's on the rare side, right? So yeah, I mean, I think slowly but surely it's going to happen. Their tech is not advanced enough to do a lot of the things that I think they want to do. I genuinely believe that if the tech was up to the task, they'd be doing a lot more burning stuff. They also have to do it strategically. But yeah, I think the season is young. I think the burning has just started. I think the community is going to do the heavy lifting on burning, and then you're going to burn it for something else. So new supply is always going to come out, and then every single season more and more and more supply is going to come out. And if somehow some way new users join, more supply is going to come out. And you just have to kind of pick your battles. Like not everything is for everybody. You don't need everything. We're all such degenerates. We think everything is for us and that we have to buy into everything. You don't need to buy into Series 4 commons. Like, why? If you've been burned on Series 2 and 3 commons, why the fuck are you buying into Series 4 commons? If you believe that the commons are bad, I put a tweet out there. I got hate, like everything else I put out. Some people from Dapper and not from Dapper DMing me and shit. But like, why are you buying the stuff if you've been whining that the last similar stuff you bought didn't do for you what you wanted it to do? Either you love this shit and that's why you're buying it, and because you're a connoisseur and you want one of everything or whatever the rationale is, or you're expecting something different to happen, even though you've already experienced what will happen. So, like, I don't know. I hate when people, put the blame of some of Dapper's failures on the community. I think that's just a cop-out. Dapper is complicit in all the problems that they've caused. But this one issue, if you don't like the not scarce common stuff from the past 2 seasons, why the fuck are you spending a penny on it this season? Just go to the marketplace like Cam is going to do. Buy the specific shit that you want. Stop playing the goddamn lottery. Almost nobody wins the lottery. And then you FOMO into it because you see 2 people on Twitter saying, I won the fucking lottery. Look at all this great shit I got. And then despite your, whatever brain you have and your experiences from the past year and a half of never winning the lottery, you magically think you're going to win it. At some point, you can't protect people from themselves.
So, by the way, speaking of the lottery,
we
can now take a look at some of these new moments and see what they're being valued at.
Wait, this is live.
This was the big score, which is
no way. Benedict Mathurin is $85.
You think it should be higher or lower?
Higher.
I'm about to go out and buy Benedict Mathurin.
Higher. Look at last year's.
That's kind of ridiculous.
No, but look at S3 and S2 rookie moments 4K, and then look back at this 85 number and tell me how crazy it is. Unless you guys think that he's like,
he's him.
I don't know. Is he him?
Benedict Mathurin. A lot of
beast.
people don't know his whole story. He's from Canada, Haitian dude. He's one of the few Haitian players in the league. I think Lou Dort's another Haitian guy from Canada, ironically.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Benedict Mathurin, he at 15. He got recruited and he left Canada and moved to Mexico to join the NBA Mexico Basketball Academy.
Yep.
And he's been in the NBA since he was 15, in their talent pool, and then went to Arizona from the Mexican league or whatever. And yeah, so he's ready. And he's also 21. He's an older rookie. He's most likely going to win Rookie of the Year. Keegan Murray's not putting up the numbers I think he could have. Harrison Barnes has been in a dip, so I think he actually could get his numbers up. But yeah, Benedict Mathurin is doing a really good job. Yeah, he's averaging like 20.
I think
can't wait to see the person who spends
he's
$10
40th in scoring in the NBA. There's 30 teams, and he's in the top 40 scorers in the NBA as a rookie off the bench. I think that's like a big thing.
There you go, Cam. Go pick up a Brook Lopez. And I thought didn't that just say $50? No, $5. No, but this is also
selling these things. It's too early.
Exactly. That's the whole point. There's no one selling these. But the Benedict is 19. Look, it's dropping like a hotcake.
67. Yeah. I'm gonna let this free fall to the ground.
I promise you, it's gonna be closer to 50 than 100. I promise you.
And people thought this was gonna be like a $200 moment.
4 days out too.
Anthony Edwards isn't a $200 moment for his debut. How's this going to be 200? No, nobody is. Have you guys seen the market?
Wait, hold on. Anthony Edwards
LaMelo's not $200. No, man.
Oh my god, I didn't know
Benedict will be 50 bones.
Hold on. Where's Anthony Edwards? Wow,
180.
Yeah, man.
Sheesh. You know what? You might be correct, and that's another reason why I just took I took the pack money and spent it on the marketplace and not on the packs because. Yeah. I mean, I was rookie hunting to mainly keep rookies. Like I'm somebody who prospects, and I like to try to buy in on the young player and buy in on
don't
somebody.
Spend $100 on Mathurin. It ain't happening, man.
Yeah, I know. I could save my money and probably buy 2 Matherins tomorrow for 40
probably
instead
could.
of buying
Wait-
it for
That's
wait-
what
80.
I'm saying. That's
Wait
what
a
I'm
week.
saying.
Wait a week. Wait 2 weeks. Wait.
Until he
Till it's
pumps.
not.
The game is
That's what I'm
pumping in
saying
flash
is
challenges.
the
That's what
flash
it is.
challenge game too is I just want to be ready so I can maybe get that moment. But
Be ready because he'll definitely score in several of these flash challenges. That's the reason to buy anybody right now because it's not a collectibles platform. It's a game platform.
yeah, I know. And I think it's a collectible platform
I
with how
know.
I spend, and it drives me nuts because that's not how it is.
That's what we all thought for a while, and maybe it will be one day, but right now it's not.
Yeah, that's the case right now. So
Too
that is why I think that people buying 15 packs were making a pretty poor trading decision because what was your upside? Your
It's a
upside,
lottery, bro. It's a lottery. What's the upside? You get 4 of those rare moments that are going to be 100, $150 a pop. Flip
no, they're
them.
not. You think those rares are gonna
might
be
start.
150 a pop? They're only
I think
150 a
so.
pop because there's like one seller.
Eh,
Look
I
at
think-
rares.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Here, pull it
some of
up
those-
because I
some
don't
of
want to
those-
pull it up and be not locked into what we're doing.
All right,
but
look
what
at
they
rares.
did is they did guys like John Wall, Laurie Markkinen, who have very few rare moments.
Right, so if
Donovan
you're just
Mitchell,
playing the
we
game.
just talked about, he had to, all of his stuff was dumped, so he needed a new rare. So yeah, $80. I don't know.
No, but that's from like 2 people selling them.
I think they'll be $50 to $100 somewhere in there.
Maybe. I mean, let's just look like what are the lowest rares
Well, but they
going
also
for?
have challenge utility built into them because people are going to want to buy them, so they get the DeJounte. I want
No,
the
that
DeJounte.
I mean that's true. You basically have to flip. So again, it's not a collectibles situation. It's
No.
flipping into a challenge,
Yeah.
right? So Ryan pulled a Laurie on his first pack of 14. That's the upside. Again, Ryan, the question is, are you going to hold on to that Laurie or are you going to flip it? I mean, I suppose the only correct answer in the current market
Brian's not
conditions
holding on to that lore.
is you got to flip that into the challenge. And but then and I'm curious what those will go for. Like because right now, obviously, there's like nobody selling.
Yeah, but did you guys pay attention to the market last night with the flash challenge?
No, I wasn't.
Shit was
paying
pumping.
much attention.
Shit was pumping.
it?
Yeah. Now,
The
granted,
rares.
it's not a huge population of people that are speculating and collecting, but it doesn't have to be. You know, that's what we've learned on this platform. All you really need is a few hundred, a couple thousand people who are super into something for one night only. And you know, Laurie Markkinen was over $200 for his Laurie Markkinen. You know, $220.
But that's a little surprising because look, only 51 people. Oh no, sorry, that was the cheat code. That was the legendary.
That's a cheat code.
Only 150 people did. The
Yeah,
challenge.
but here's the thing. You know, a lot of those people had their stuff locked, so they had to buy all new stuff to participate in the challenge. Now, this is just for the whales, right? Like, nobody's doing a challenge that requires 10 rare moments, 2 of which are being burned, unless they have, you know, significant collections and or significant bankroll. But I'm saying, just by appealing to a few hundred whales in the VIP chat, they were able to take a Laurie Markkinen from $80 to $230 in a couple of hours. That's a huge jump. They were able to take an SGA that probably started the night, I don't know, 120, 130, and I think it ended the night at like 240, almost
Right.
doubling the market price with just a few hundred collectors who are super interested in playing the game.
But again, it's
game
because
matters.
exactly what Bogdan is saying here. It's like the problem is there's so few buyers, and that's the whole point. Like if a bunch of new buyers came into this platform, some of these floors are paper thin, and that's what keeps people like us holding our breath for that to happen. Because like, oh, once those people come, like those floors are just gonna go up like
No,
crazy,
that's
really
fool's
fast.
gold. No, these floors are not paper thin. People lock 80% of their shit. You know what's going to happen as
Well,
soon
for
as
the next
people
year they
unlock?
are.
Not for the next year. I mean, in a lot
Whatever,
of
9
cases,
months,
a
whatever it
third
is.
of the holding period is already over. I mean, shit goes fast, dude. I promise you. Like, I don't know. I'm not a leaker, so I'm not going to tell you everything that goes on in the VIP chat. But man, like those dudes. Now, granted, most of them are petulant children, so who knows if they actually believe what they say. But they're all like, we're out, like we're gone.
Well, unless Top Shot can do something, and that's a big if.
Unless,
because
if only, if your grandfather had he'd be your grandmother.
Okay, I've never heard
You know
that
what
one
I'm
before, but
It's an old Jewish saying.
yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, man. I don't know. The scenes when everything unlocks. That's a scary thought as of right now, because if everything unlocked right now, it would be an absolute bloodbath, and we could just hope that all we got right now is hope. We gotta hope that they figure something out by
I'll
the
tell
time
you,
that
some
happens.
people in VIP are vocally begging for
Unlocking early.
a penalty. Yeah, let us pay a penalty so that we can unlock and get out. Yeah,
Top Shot's like, no, sir, no, sirree, Bob.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Of
But
course
listen,
not.
like
You can't do
all of that said, like we're starting to see a little momentum. There's a drumbeat of momentum, right? There's
Mhm.
these tapped in events. We've seen a few of them. They're going to continue to optimize them. They'll get better and better and better. We've got the captain's program. People are sending collectors to games. 700, 800 people went to opening night. I'm going to a game tonight on behalf of the Hawks community. There's something there. I think they're going to figure out a way to appease the VIP crowd. They've done a real horrible job of catering to their highest investors. It's embarrassing, but I think it'll happen. And we'll wait and see. They're starting to burn, right? So they're obviously doubling down on scarcity. We don't like the numbers that we've seen for this first drop: 55,000 packs, 8,000 or 16,000 or 25,000, whatever the number is, common moments per player. But if they continue to incorporate burning in a strategic way, both on their side and our side, maybe they can turn it into a more scarce product. We saw what happened with League Pass. Who's to say Nike doesn't come in next month and do a big promotion and everybody
Yeah.
has to burn 5 rares to get the dopest fucking pair of Nike sneakers? Like, all that shit is on the table. It hasn't happened yet. We're all kind of waiting for things that haven't happened, and when China joins and all that shit. But it's possible. It's possible.
No, it's not. Oh, come on. No, it's not.
Possible. No, the China thing's not possible, but the Nike thing is possible.
Yeah, the Nike thing, I suppose, is possible. I mean, they're already
Yeah.
doing other Web3 things with Artifact or whatever you call that NFT that they're doing. Yeah,
And there was
man.
that website, right? The athlete something.
Yeah, I don't even know
I
what
don't
that is.
recall. I don't know what
yeah.
it is either. But
So
it sounds promising.
I'm just dipped into the Mathurin
That's what I'm saying.
waters.
He could win Rookie of the Year, but there's no badge 2 years, 3 years later to signify it and make us actually like go for something. If this is a collectible, why aren't there incentives to
we're
actually collect?
so far away from that though. I know you've been beating that drum about like having badges and making things like behave as collectibles, but until this platform is made up of collectors, which it's not, then you can't treat these things like collectibles.
You have to teach. They didn't. If Web3, listen, Top Shot brought us to Top Shot. The community didn't invent Top Shot. They have taught us what we should like and what we should do.
Yeah, I know, but
and we have reacted and grown and done things and off of them. If they actually showed us what these things were to actually collect and make you feel like you have an appreciating asset or you have just something that's respected, I think it should be that way. I watched my badge video the other day and I was so inspired.
I mean, look, they added certain badges. They added those MVP badges. I don't know how much they really truly moved the needle.
They'll add
They
a Rookie
did,
of the Year
and
badge.
it also gave challenge utility.
And nobody's
this is what I was trying to pitch from the beginning. Was like,
Jay just got it.
What?
Nobody's gonna care.
They're gonna add it. No one's gonna care.
Nobody's gonna care.
Well,
maybe in the future.
It's this
maybe
late into the game, and they do one every 8 months or whatever.
Yeah, maybe in 5 years.
Forward to something, man. Keep you looking forward.
5 years.
God, just give something right now. Give something that they could actually like, and that's the
ain't gonna
thing.
do nothing, man.
The Web3 space is such a "what have you done for me lately" type thing. It needs to be done lately.
Yeah, but you know what? This product wins when it becomes not Web3. I'm sorry to say, the only Web3 piece of Top Shot that needs to matter is simply accumulating points for doing things. Right?
The pillar, and it comes. You gain points by going to the arenas, and you go to the Top Shot.
They're not ready for that yet.
And I'm telling
you, they're
you,
not ready for any of that yet. They need to introduce a tokenomics strategy if they're going to go that route, or they need to further integrate with these stadiums. Like it just doesn't exist. The infrastructure doesn't exist. I think Rohan thought it was going to be a lot easier and a lot less frictionful to develop these relationships across the NBA with each individual arena. It just hasn't happened. Like I have some relationships with the Hawks, for example. They still don't even know what Top Shot is or what Top Shot is doing. Like the connective tissue just isn't there. And there's a lot of reasons for it. I also don't think they've prioritized it. I think they brought in a growth and a marketing team that thought this was a product that was akin to a DFS product, like a FanDuel or a DraftKings, and that they were going to do all their user acquisition through social media and digital-based growth marketing. I don't think they knew that they needed to be where basketball fans are, because their early adopter crowd wasn't basketball fans. They were just kids that lived on the internet, and they thought that they could simply double and triple down on that. I think they've had a rude awakening, I hope. I think they now realize, and obviously they're now starting to promote people going to games. They're now starting to promote people going to hang out with Magic Johnson and Cade and all that stuff. I think they're going to find themselves more and more driving towards becoming more of a mainstream basketball brand instead of this kind of crypto early adopter, kind of in the know digital brand. And I think that's going to, work in their advantage, I hope.
Yeah, well, we can all hope. Anyway, let's
Does that bring me back to my 3 pillars?
Yeah,
let's end on that.
Because you said it can't be Web3, and that's exactly what I'm saying. It needs to be kiosks, people in real life that are going to games, basketball people who just dropped over $100 in Ticketmaster fees. Not even tickets. I'm talking about the fees. And from the fees alone, I'm saying a pack is $9, and people are paying over $100 in Ticketmaster fees just to go to these games. Fees, $9 if there's a kiosk and you're like, hey, there's some Jason Tatum cards in this pack. Like, maybe you could pull a Tatum. That alone, I could get the Tatum. Cool. Like, you're gonna get a Boston fan to buy a pack every time if you have a little kiosk set up. It doesn't need to be this grand thing that they did in Vegas. They could remodel, they could trim down. They just did some trimming. They know how to trim. They could trim down their kiosk a little bit. There's ways to do this, and to mock the community by saying Bill Simmons kiosk and things like that is ridiculous, because Bill Simmons sold his company for $200 million to Spotify, and you're going to mock him and say he's just some internet troll or some sports troll. He's on his homer takes and all this other stuff. Listen to Bill Simmons. I mean, he talks about his stuff, but he also talks about everything else. He's probably more knowledgeable than 90% of the sports community about whatever he's talking about. You ask him about the Minnesota Twins, he's going to know more info than you do. Like, you call him a homer. What sports fan isn't? What real sports fan isn't a homer and doesn't root for something?
Cam's on a rampage.
I think you're trying to say we're in beta.
Beta.
So SoRare. Have you guys played it? Are you guys playing it at all? I don't think either of you are, right?
No.
I play SoRare. What do you mean? I won on the first ever SoRare challenge. I was top 200.
You won? Were you really? Out of how many?
199.
Oh yeah, that's true. You got a
70,000.
limited. You got a limited, but nothing since, right?
No, nothing since. I've been top like 5,000 and stuff, but it doesn't really get anything.
It's tough. You got to follow people like Noam. Noam places all the time.
Garbito.
What did you get? What was your limit?
Dennis Smith Jr. And I mean, it's good for like 2 weeks until Rozier, and then LaMelo's going to be back soon. And then I didn't know how to list properly, and I thought I was setting an auction. I truly did. So I thought I was selling it at $10, and it sold immediately. And I was like, okay, I swear I put the 24-hour auction thing. So there's still something that's friction for a new user, and it turned me off. I'll say that. There's a couple things with SoRare. Today they rugged the pick swap.
They did? How'd they rug
They
it?
rugged it, and now you just get a free card, but they still rugged it. And they're changing things every week.
No, I think no. I think you have both. I think you got to go look again.
Really? I logged in today, and I thought I could only do one. I can only get a free card, not swap out a free card.
No, I'll check right now. We can take a look together.
And they're tinkering, they're trying things, but just like I had an expectation when they started doing this card swap, and they said they're going to do it every day. Oh, they're going to do two. See, when I went on earlier, it was just one. It was one bar straight across the way it normally looked, and it was just switched with the card swap to daily drop.
Because it depends. I think if you're in play, you only see one bar, and if you're in my cards, you see 2 bars.
Huh. Cool.
So yeah, mine unlocks in 13 minutes, and it's sort of interesting though, because it's not like it's like a free tournament, obviously a free challenge, and you can swap your cards, you can get a free card, and it's not like these are going to super move the needle, but it still gets people engaged and wanting to do something on the website every day.
Free to play is dope. Free to play is an amazing strategy, especially to onboard people who don't necessarily understand all the nuances about what something is. So I like it. I don't. I'm not a DFS guy. I suck at it. I don't have the patience or the brain power to get good at any of this stuff. But I'll play a free game.
Right. And I think
Take a
that
chance, see what
it
happens.
also, like, the fact that there is the cap means that even if you get free Tyrese Halliburtons every day, you still have to, like, be clever with who you put in your lineup. And I think that's really fun and interesting. And it's not, for example, like what Top Shot is currently, which is if you buy everything, you can win everything. And some other fantasy products might be like that too. I think that's what makes SoRare pretty interesting, though, and pretty, I guess, democratic, or however you want to put it.
Well, you're playing GM, right? Which is what basketball fans love. Like when you dive into the platform, you're a GM. You get to assemble your team. You get to play whichever players you think are going to pop at specific points in time. Strategy, goes into it.
Yeah.
Top
So,
Shot
if
felt
you've
like
got
that
the
when I
time-
first started.
Yeah.
I mean, Top Shot was like that to an extent, but there was no game, right? You were
Well, there was
playing
a
the
promise
long
of a
game.
game, and
Well,
people were building to it. They even said stack moments. It will boost whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Get
By
multiples.
the way, you see this guy?
Yeah, Beauchamp.
Did you watch the game? Because he scored 36 on his point total is a 7, which is a huge overlay. So
Yeah.
I've been kind of curious how to find players that have these huge overlays. I think we have to ask people like Noam, and maybe he knows. But a 7 getting a 36 is huge, because then you got a
Told
lot
you
of
guys about Marjan Beauchamp. I told you, but even
Yeah.
before Summer League, he was one in my draft. I do
He was
mock
one of your
draft
guys.
every year. He was one of my guys. I said if he's not drafted in the top 10, or GM should be fired.
Yeah.
And I feel that. And he was drafted by the Bucks very late. So I'll appreciate
Dedmon's
getting him.
another.
That was my guy, and my team drafted him. I can't believe he slid that far, but I don't think they liked his shooting performances in the G League for the Ignite. But I'm fine with it. That's not what he does. Just because he's a 30% 3-point shooter, it doesn't mean he's a bad player.
Cam,
Right.
what do you think about your namesake? There you go. I was just about to ask
Here
you
we
about
go.
Cam
You could win a
Thomas.
Cam Thomas in 5 tier because his cap is 10.
Here's my take on Cam Thomas, because I know you're
nope.
super high on him, and
No
I'm high
cap.
on him
Cam
too.
Thomas is the GOAT.
I love Cam Thomas, but I feel like because I watch every Nets game, obviously. I feel like a lot of times when he does get run, he's so out of control. He's just running all over the place. He doesn't have that fluidity to his game yet. He has spurts for sure. He can obviously score the ball, but do you think he's a little wild?
Okay. I do think he's an aggressive scorer.
Yeah.
So let me just read you a basketball player list real quick. This is a good litmus test.
Yeah.
So there's this high school. There's a lot of prep schools in the country. Oak Hill is one of them. Oak Hill is one of the most famous high schools in the world for basketball.
Mello, right?
Yeah, Mello. So these are the players that have played there.
Yeah.
You got Carmelo Anthony, Cole Anthony, Jerry Stackhouse, Steve Smith, Ron Mercer, Keldon Johnson, Ty Lawson, Steven Jackson, Rajon Rondo, Rod Strickland, Quinn Cook, Brandon Jennings, Josh Smith, Dwayne Bacon, Deron Lamb, who else? Sindarius Thornwell, who's a bucket, Kevin Durant, Caleb Martin, Steve Blake. I could keep going. There's 80 players or more. There's actually more. There's over 80 players from the NBA, Quinn Cook, Cody Martin. Yeah, just an endless list. Do you know who the all-time leading scorer of Oak Hill is?
I'm going to guess Cam Thomas.
It's Cam Thomas. He's the leading scorer from Oak Hill of all time. He's the best scorer. You know what he did his freshman year at LSU? He averaged 25.
Yeah.
As a freshman.
No, I love Cam. I was begging the internet not to let the Nets trade.
And now he's playing defense, and he's
he
facilitating and trying to dish off to KD. And I think there's an Oak Hill connection there. I think KD and Cam looks up to Kobe. That's his big thing. When he was drafted, he wore the 8 and 24 jacket. It was lined with all Kobe stuff. He loves Kobe. He looks up to elite basketball players. And I'm pretty sure he holds KD in a similar regard. And that's his teammate. And also, KD went to Oak Hill, his same high school. They both played for the same head coach. They grew up kind of the same way. They were taught the same lessons at a young age. Like, there's certain things about Cam Thomas that he will listen to Kevin Durant. Unlike what Russell Westbrook didn't show him that same respect as a teammate. Russell Westbrook thought he was the better of the two. Cam Thomas is now playing a two-man. If you watch them play, it's a lot of two-man with them, and they do
play
these
really
give
well
and
off each
goes,
other.
little pick and rolls, pick and pops because they're not rolling. But it's like that, and I think he's gonna eventually play under control and learn what kind of pace you do need in an NBA game.
Yeah.
And you see it. He averaged 1 minute or less with Steve Nash. The new head coach comes in. Kyrie gets benched simultaneously, and they give him, Cam Thomas, the Kyrie look. Like, you're Kyrie now. Do exactly what he does, and we'll be fine.
No.
And that's what he did. He's averaged
he can't do exactly
20 or more
does, but...
for 4 games straight. I mean, he can't do exactly what he does, but he's really good. He plays better defense than him. I'll tell you that much.
He's a strong kid. Yeah, no, I like him.
Yeah.
I think he's got promise.
And
I'm happy he's still on my team.
He was born in Japan. That's another thing about Cam Thomas that's cool. Both of his parents were in the military, and they were stationed out there. He's not James Bouknight, who's gotten 4 DUIs this year. If you or I got 2 DUIs, we'd have our license removed. And there were loaded guns that were unregistered in his car. But, like, James Bouknight is still getting minutes because LaMelo's out.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there are rookies and other players in this league doing a lot of different things. And this kid is coming from a great pedigree for schools, for teams, and from home. I'm convinced on Cam Thomas. I'm fully convinced on him that he's a good kid with a level head that just wants to score. And I listen to podcasts. I hear the live calls of him. All bad words for Cam Thomas. I can't believe it. Everywhere you go, you will never hear a good word about Cam Thomas. I promise you that.
I'm 70% on Cam.
It is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Ryan Russillo today. If you listen to Ryan Russillo's podcast, they're talking about, they have Sean Marks on, the old GM, and they're talking to him, and even he's like, yeah, I actually helped him during the draft process. I was trying to talk to him, get his head right. So when he talks to GMs, he's speaking their language. And he was pressed that he was going to be a lead guard in the NBA like Damian Lillard. And Sean Marks was trying to humble him in the draft process. And, like, you know, I just find it so funny that they will say, oh my God, the potential of Jalen Smith or Jonathan Isaac or anybody else. And then you have someone right there wanting to apply themselves. You have Ben Simmons, who's telling you, I don't want to play basketball. I don't want to shoot the ball. Yeah. And you have a guy who's dying to get on the court, play defense. He
loves to play ball. That's clear. Cam loves
to
be on the court.
He's not in the club doing wild shit. He's not getting in fights and doing all that stuff. He's a good kid. I genuinely think he's going to be in the league for 10 plus years. Marshawn Beauchamp, same thing. He went to a community college, and that's how he got picked out of the G League.
Yeah.
He was at a JUCO because he didn't have the grades to go D1 and all this stuff. And, like, he has his own little struggle story, and that's why he wears number 0 now in the NBA, but he never wore 0 prior to being drafted. So that's like a new kind of story for him. But he was saying it and how he feels like he came from nothing, from 0, and he made it here, and he can't believe it, and he just wants to put in work and praise God and just do his thing. If you follow his Instagram, that's what he's all about. And, you know, I feel like there's some good energies coming from these people, and they're going to be a positive person in the locker room and probably have positive results in the league because they're professionals more than celebrities.
That's fair.
All right, guys.
We done?
I think I'm done. But you guys got any last words?
I got my show with Rick Barry in 8 minutes. I let this call. I was supposed to leave a little while ago.
All right, so we better let him go then. So
Zombie
Jay,
Talk is back. Follow on YouTube. Zombie Talk. Sorry, I'm Mike Weisberg in the part.
Put that in the Put that in the comments, PackDrip. How do we get to Zombie Talk?
Well,
what's the channel address? What's the channel address?
Tweet it out. We'll share it with everybody.
Western Mass Zombies. You can see some old stuff, and we still gotta upload a few of the pods from last season. I don't know why they got messed up. I'm not editing them. I offer to, and the dude who is doing it says he wants to keep doing it. So new season starts today. Will be uploaded soon.
All right. Well, I can't wait to see it because I got to say that video that you made with him when he opens that archive pack was one of the more entertaining Top Shot related videos I had ever seen. So,
and he had a story about everything. He opens Stephon Marbury. He's like, oh my God, I remember my son played with him in college at Georgia Tech, and he wore a chain in college as a college player, bigger than, he said it would be worth more than Rick Barry's salary when he played and won MVP. And he gives that little anecdote. And then he talks
sure
about
it
how
would.
he taught Shaq how to do the granny shot because he opened a Shaq moment in the archive.
Shaq wouldn't do it.
And Shaq wouldn't do it because he said he looked like a sissy. And you just get
Yep.
these little things, and they should do more of that. Rick Barry, especially, I've been thinking about contacting whatever the Warriors community is, because pickleball is kind of a thing now, and Rick
Yo,
is really
Tim.
big in the pickleball.
Tim is the
Connect me
community
with
captain.
Tim, and I'm
I
gonna
will.
connect
He's a
him,
good
and I'm
dude.
gonna get Rick Barry a check, and I'm gonna get Tim some thumbs up from everybody because
Tim's a
it's
hustler.
something that could be done.
Good dude. Okay.
All
All right, well,
That's what's
guys, thank you for making the time. I hope you all in the chat enjoyed that, got something out of that, and we will
did
see
our
you again
best.
soon. We did our
we did our
best.
best.
Let's
Yeah.
hope we get some more interesting things happening this week. And let's go get a FOMO looking at other people's pack rips on Twitter. So
We're on an upswing.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
let's hope for an upswing. And until the next week, guys. All right, take
Tandy.
care.
Peace.
Peace.
Static Selector.